For this week's 60-second Slim Down series, we're going to give you a great exercise that you can do to work on your posture. All you need is a wall. You're going to put your heels up against the wall, your butt up against the wall, your upper back against the wall. Start with your arms at 90 degrees. We're looking for you to keep your elbows against the wall the whole time you do this exercise. You're going to reach as high as possible. Elbows stay against the wall. Try to get your arms straight if you can. If you can't at the beginning, that's fine. Just keep going a little further each time. Come back down. As you come down, you're going to pinch your shoulder blades down and back against the wall, and then reach all the way back up again. Looking for 10 repetitions of this exercise.
Thank you for tuning in for this week's 60-second Slim Down. What we'd like you to do is enjoy time with your family, but also have goals. I want you to make each meal protein dominant. I want you to aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight that you would like to weigh. Also, we'd like you to get in 4 workouts this week, each workout a maximum of 1 hour. Get in, have an efficient workout, and get out. Lastly, and most importantly, I would like you to get 8 hours of sleep per evening. Thank you. Make sure you tune in next week for the 60-second Slim Down. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for tuning in this week for Diverge Fitness Solutions to Anti-Aging and Fat Loss. This week we're going to be discussing tips for a thinner Thanksgiving. We've got some great advice for you on the blog, things such as policing your portions as well as controlling alcohol intake and focusing on what's important during Thanksgiving to make sure that you don't gain the typical holiday weight gain. Thank you. Make sure you tune in next week for the 60-second Slim Down.
For this week's 60-second Slim Down series, I'm going to discuss core strength and abdominal development. Now, the most popular way to do that in the gym for most people is to do exercises such as crunches and side bending for the obliques. However, we found that you can get better results by doing exercises that when you're trying to prevent flexion or extension. 2 great exercises that you can do. One simple plank is the first one. All right, get onto the forearms, legs completely straight. Make sure the glutes are tight. And you can hold, starting for 30 seconds, move up to 45 and eventually a minute. The advancement of the plank is this. Get into push-up position. Again, glutes tight. Walk the hands out. Walk the hands back. Trying to maintain a neutral lower back the whole time you're doing it. That's 2 great exercises you can do to develop your abs.
Thank you for tuning in to Diverge Fitness for solutions on fat loss and anti-aging. What we're going to be covering this week is going back to what we covered last week concerning inflammation. This week we're going to deal with food intake and chronic inflammation. You'll see a great write-up in the blog on this from Dr. Lindell, and I'll show all the published research. Concerning chronic inflammation, what we now know is it's one of the biggest causes of aging. I want you to think of eating refined carbohydrates, whether it be cereals, breads, pastries, any processed foods, and what the body has to do to digest those. This causes chronic inflammation, which leads to swelling, increased aging, bloating. Read the blog, it will explain more. Make sure to tune in next week for the 60-second Slim Down. Thank you.
For this week's 60-second Slim Down, we're going to discuss stretching and how you can integrate it into your workout program. There's 2 different types of stretching we're going to cover. The first one is dynamic and the second is static. It's very important to remember to put dynamic stretching at the beginning of the workout or before the activity begins, and save the static stretching for after the activity stops. So 2 simple dynamic stretches that you can do before you start your workout. First one is you need a wall. You need to put your hands up against the wall like this. The front leg is bent, the back leg is straight, and the heel can be off the floor. And let yourself go towards the wall. This knee will go towards the wall, but the heel will stay on the floor. And you can just go back and forwards like this. Great warm-up stretch for the calf muscles. Second exercise for the dynamic stretching. Great one for the lower body. We're going to get the feet a little wider than shoulder width, and we're going to keep the left leg straight, and we're going to sit into the right hip. You really feel this on the inside of the left leg. Alright, and you can do both sides. Just holding for about 5 to 10 seconds. The two static stretches that you can do, remember this is for after your workout is finished. You can grab a towel, in this case I've got a green strap, wrap it around your foot, keep this leg straight, and pull. Now if you're feeling a little too much up near the knee, let the knee bend slightly, and then pull, and you should feel it on your hamstring. And you would obviously do both sides here. You can hold that stretch for a little longer. You can hold it for 30 to 45 seconds, work your way up to a full minute. And the last one is to work on these lats right here. Onto your knees, sit back onto the heels, and stretch. Again, you want to hold it for 30 to 45, and then you can move to the left, and also move to the right. Integrate those two different types of stretching into your workout routine.
Thank you for tuning in this week for Diverge Fitness Solutions for Fat Loss and Anti-Aging. This week what we're going to be covering is really what we've researched is the most common cause of aging, and that is inflammation. We now understand that inflammation, whether it's concerning the heart, whether it's concerning the gums, all factors, that is one of the biggest reasons that we age. So we want to do everything possible to discourage inflammation within the body. This would be eating properly, so making sure you're eating your vegetables, you're eating the least processed foods possible, and then you also want to try to take a supplement to decrease inflammation. Superbio curcumin, this is the same food group that is in curry when you have curry at Indian restaurants. This is a great reducer of inflammation. Try to reduce inflammation in any way possible, and if you are doing any exercise like running that would be causing inflammation, please cut back on that and shift to non-inflammatory exercises. Thank you. Make sure you tune in next week for the 60-second Slim Down.
For this week's golf fitness tip, I'm going to talk to you about S posture. Last week we discussed C posture. This week we're going to discuss S posture. S posture presents like this, where the spine and the lower back and the upper part of the glute muscles, it presents like an S. All right, just like this. It can be very destructive on the lower back, and also can cause a lot of limitations in your golf swing. Two great exercises you can do to correct this problem. The first one is called a pelvic tilt, laying onto your back. So you're going to lay down onto your back, both legs bent, and what we want to do is we want to arch the back as much as possible, and then we want to flatten the back out as much as possible. Arch the back as much as possible. You should be able to fit your hand up underneath there, and then when you flatten out, you can no longer get your hand underneath there. Second exercise is called a reverse crunch. Raise the arms up, and you're going to bring the knees up to the hands. Let the heels come down just before they touch the floor. You can do 10 to 15 reps to start and move up to 20. Two great exercises to help with your S posture. For this week's 60-second Slim Down series, we're going to talk about integration versus isolation. If you're looking to burn the maximum amount of body fat in the shortest period of time possible and gain some muscle, you should be doing as many integration movements as possible. Take a look at our blog. You'll see some nice exercises that we put in there for you to sub in instead of those common isolation exercises. Click on the link, try them out the next time you're in the gym.
Last week, concerning Diverge Fitness, solutions on anti-aging and fitness, we covered the idea of actually moving yourself, not sitting but getting up, any activity during the day. And I made a point that we wanted you to do anything but run, and that's raised a lot of questions from our clients. The reason we don't want you to run are the osteoarthritic changes to the knees, the hips, and then the impact on the back from all of the banging that occurs with running. Instead, we'd like you to take a brisk walk, any non-impact activity. Swimming is great for you, and please remember to always include your weight training for the osteoporotic and osteopenia benefit and fat loss benefits of weight training. Thank you. Remember to tune in next week for the 60-second Slim Down.
For this week's golf fitness tip, I'm going to talk to you about a very common problem. It's called C posture. Carson here is demonstrating for us what C posture looks like. Basically what it looks like is from the top of the back all the way down to the lower back is curved into a C-looking position. This is a very, very bad position for you to start off your golf swing at. So there's two simple exercises that I'm going to give you that you can do. You can do them at home. Carson, I'm going to take the club off you. If you can go ahead and lie onto your side first. This exercise is called open books. Very simple exercise. You're going to bring the knees up to the chest. You're going to hold the knees down with the left hand. The right hand is going to start right here in front of the chest. And he's going to try and get the back of the right hand all the way over to the floor on the other side. And all the way back. And going again. You can start with 3 reps, move up to 5 on each side. That'll really open out your chest, get at your mid-back. Great exercise to target that C posture. Alright, the next exercise we're going to do is called supine arm reach. He's going to lay onto his back. Knees are bent. Knees bent will help keep the lower back flat. What we're looking to do is we're looking to get the thumbs all the way up to the floor over his head. And when he gets there, he's going to try and reach as high as he can reach. That's really going to stretch out his lat muscles right here. Very simple exercise called supine arm reach. So you've got open books, supine arm reaches, 2 great exercises to target that C posture.
Thank you for tuning in to Diverge Fitness for solutions on fat loss and anti-aging. This week we're discussing activity, and many of our clients get extremely busy this time of year and they ask us, if I have 20 minutes, what should I do? Should I go for a walk? Should I go for a run? Should I do push-ups and lunges? And the answer to that question is anything but running. So we would suggest push-ups and lunges, of course with proper form, going for a light stroll, anything you can do to get up off your butt and move. Remember, the more you sit, the bigger your butt gets. So, get up, move. If you have a very busy day, get up 20 minutes early and just do something. Something is better than nothing. Thank you, and remember to tune in next week for the 60-second Slim Down.
For this week's golf fitness section, I'm going to talk about a swing issue called early extension. Early extension means if you're set up in your golf posture, at impact your hips move closer to the ball. One of the main issues physically that can cause early extension is lack of internal rotation in your hips. So a great exercise to help with that is called hip windshield wipers. So what you want to do is lay onto your back, get your both legs to 90 degrees, put your fists in between your knees, keep the connection between your fists and your knees the whole time, and rotate from your hips like so. So you want to get as much distance between your feet as possible by rotating from the hip joint. That's a great exercise that will help you out with early extension.
Thank you for tuning in for this week's Diverge Fitness Solutions for Fat Loss and Anti-Aging. What we're going to cover this week is a very simple solution. What I would like you to do is consume 2 8-ounce glasses of cold water before each meal. Again, that's 16 ounces of cold water before each meal. This is going to aid in digestion and satiety. You're going to feel fuller and consume less calories. Thank you. Please make sure you tune in for the 60-second Slim Down on Monday.
this week's golf section, I'm going to talk about a very common swing fault called the over-the-top move. Over-the-top is when at the top of the backswing you throw the club on the outside. Multiple issues can happen from that. You can either hit a pull-hook left, you can slice it to the right. The main problem, one of the main problems from the over-the-top move is not being able to separate the lower body from the upper body. You can check this by getting into your golf posture, try to keep the upper body still, and you should be able to spin your hips underneath you without the upper body moving. If that's a problem for you, grab a chair, hold onto the chair firmly in the golf posture again, and spin your hips while you hold on tightly to the chair. That will help you separate your lower body from your upper body and help you with the over-the-top move.